Hi, this is Diane Greco-Allen, food relationship coach and pain management. I am FMCA certified and nutritional functional medicine counselor. Right now, I have my daughter on the cell phone, and together we're going to talk about something because we're talking about investments. And I am going to share my screen today because I found some really fun information about investments.
Diane,
Yeah.
if you don't mind.
She's running off. Wait a minute. She's running.
Good question.
Okay. What's the question?
If you are a certified pain management coach, could you tell me how you managed to be such a pain in my ass?
That is such a good question. My daughter wants to know why I'm a pain in her ass, and I'll tell you why. Because I am her freaking mother, and that's why. That's my role.
Causes polyps in the rectum.
Yes.
And then, the lack of fiber contributes to the Biden association of no fiber in the diets.
No fiber in the diets. You're exactly right. Lindsay knows that if you don't eat the proper fibers, what fibrous vegetables and fruits, they are fibrous, right?
They're fibroid fruits.
Yeah, fibroids. And then there's the other ones, goitrogens. Those are the scary ones, right? Yeah. So anyway, Lindsay, tell me what's going on with you today.
Diane, I am over and out.
Over and out.
Over and out for them, yeah.
Okay, so it's is it close to the day's end for you, and I'm
the world ends for us, and then Starbucks takes over the planet.
Exactly. Starbucks took over a long time ago, but actually Walmart started the whole process. It was Walmart and Sam's Club, and once that kicked everything off. Well, no, it wasn't them. I started at McDonald's a long time ago.
Goddamn commies. No, I'm just kidding. Don't put that on my.
Okay, wait a minute. Lynn, can I share this fun information to you?
Get the fuck out.
Yesterday, I shared wonderful information to my son Andy about Lewy bodies and how Lewy bodies were a part of Parkinson's disease and how they're finding out all this stuff. And then anyway, today I'm sharing about melanin because melanin and melatonin are two different things.
It's melatonin.
No, there's two things. Melanin. We're talking about melanin. Okay.
I know that, but I had to correct you because you said
that's right, exactly. That's why I'm doing this, because what is the function of melanin? According to Cleveland Clinic, melanin provides pigmentation to your skin, eyes, and hair.
Diane.
What? And it's the substance also absorbs harmful UV rays and protects your cells from sun damage. Right?
Listen.
What?
Are you still recording?
What are you saying?
Are you still recording?
Of course I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. That's why we're doing this together.
Oh, God.
You're allowed to say whatever you want. Okay, so.
Say what you say when you say.
Okay, anatomy. We're going to talk about the anatomy. Melanin is produced in melanocytes.
It's the insides of Langerhans.
No, that's in your pancreas.
I know.
The islets. It's the islets, not the inslets. Oh my God, I got to look that one up. I've always said islets. Like the islets that you have on lace. That's what I was saying. Billie Eilish and the inslets of Langerhans. Okay, those are all about the pancreas. But here, I want to talk about melanin. Your hair, the innermost layer of your skin, the pupils and irises. Some people do iridology. And the substantia nigra and locus coeruleus. I don't even know how to say that. Areas of your brain. Okay, so they're talking about brain health. Some areas in your brain are related to melanin. The medulla and zona reticularis, areas of your adrenal gland. So if you go out and lay in the sun too much, you're draining your adrenal glands. And then the stria vascularis of your cochlear duct in the part of your inner ear.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not listen any further. She is summoning demons.
No, this is all from Cleveland Clinic. What are the types of melanin? There's eumelanin, pheomelanin, and neuromelanin.
And there's them melanin.
Yeah, that's right, because his, hers, and them, and whatever else, and she, he, her, it, I don't know. Eumelanin. There are two types of eumelanin, black and brown. It's responsible for the dark colors in the skin, eyes, and hair. People with brown or black hair have varying amounts of brown and black eumelanin. Okay? There's no black eumelanin and a small amount of brown eumelanin.
I mean, that you might want to ask.
It results in blonde hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mom, I think this is getting a little controversial. I'm sorry, we don't talk about political subjects.
Yeah, okay, wait a minute. Wait. Well, here's another one. Pheomelanin, type of melanin pigments, your lips, nipples, and pinkish parts, your niplets, and pink parts of your body are all a part of the melanin production. People who have equal parts of eumelanin and pheomelanin have red hair. How about that? What?
I gotta tell you something.
Okay, shoot this right at me. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it's something sad.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, I'm not done yet. Neuromelanin, while eumelanin and pheomelanin control the colors of things you see, such as skin, hair, and eyes. Neuromelanin is responsible. Okay, responsible for the colors of your neurons. Okay, goodbye. Hold on, I'm stopping. Okay, she told me to end this immediately.
End this life immediately.
So you had the experience of being interrupted by one of your children, or my child, actually. And sometimes these things can be, interactive. And my daughter has a lot of humor around medicine and food and all kinds of things. But what I really wanted to, just show you how so many factors play a role in our wellness and why they say that, being out in the sun for very, very long periods of time can age our body in several ways. And it's not just the skin. And you'll see some people that have been to the beach and they live on the beach and they literally are out for hours and hours, and they might have like maybe droopy skin or whatever, but very darkened skin. And that pigmentation changes not only the skin color, but also affects the other organs where melanin is, produced. And so you want to think about these things when you're talking about, what are you putting on your body, first of all, for sunscreen? Is it safe? Or should you just reduce the amount of time that you're really out in those heavy hours of the day where the sun is the brightest? Okay, so there are good things and bad things. You do want vitamin D from being out in the sun, but you can be overexposed and cause some aging processes to occur. Now, when you think about vitamin D, you want to think about, you're dosing yourself with sunlight. Okay, sunlight dosing. And what does that vitamin D do to you? Sometimes you might feel a little bit fatigued after you get a lot of vitamin D. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just that the body is working with what you just dosed your body with. And those vitamin D, across the board, we see vitamin D deficiencies along with the vitamin B family deficiencies. Now, that's a combination of not just the foods that we're exposed to or the exposures around us, but it's also, what we're putting in our bodies, what we're putting in our mouth, around our lips, what we're putting on our face, what we're putting everywhere. So anyway, so how does it affect skin color? Typically, all humans have the same number of melanocytes. And however, the amount of melanin produced by these melanocytes varies. people with more melanin generally have darker skin, eyes, hair compared to those with little. Now, we just mentioned that, and my daughter even said, Mom, you're getting political on this. No, not really. And I'm not racist. I'm just saying that these are what we see occur, and that some people who are darker skinned might be, there are some other genetics involved, but also in relation to where their culture was, where they grew up. And so, additionally, people who are born with clusters of melanocytes actually have freckles. So those freckles tell a story. And I don't think I ever had freckles, but I know a lot of people that do. And I actually think they're beautiful, especially if you have red or like blonde hair and you have freckles on your face. I just always thought that they were adorable. But anyway, this tells a little bit of a story about what's going on in your body. Now, when you spend time out in the sun, your body produces more melanin, and the substances absorb that UV lighting that we talk about all the time, the rays. It also protects the genetic materials stored in your cells by keeping out harmful UV rays. So now I want you to think about that, because your body actually is purposefully trying to protect you. And it does this, and maybe that takes energy. Okay, so I want you to think about those days that you're out in the sun. I used to lay out in the sun for long periods of time. I'd eat crap, or sometimes I'd miss my meals and go lay out in the sun. So you want to think about what's going on around that sun time, and how to use sun as beneficial and not in a bad way. Keep in mind that melanin alone isn't enough to protect your skin from sun damage. That's why it's so important, it says, to wear sunscreen. Now, there are clothing, special clothing is probably a better option. Sunscreen, I'm going to say that a lot of those sunscreens have things in them. And I want the better products are food related. So you're using coconut oils, and you're using other things. Now, I remember the copper tone that we all used to use a long time ago, but when you think about all these things, you got to think about what we're putting on our body. Our body usually has to absorb and break it down somehow. In the digestive system, in the pancreas and liver, and all these different systems, our organs are working to break things down. Protection from UV rays. Melanin protects your skin by absorbing these harmful rays, including UVA, UVB, UVC, and blue light. And where are we seeing most of the blue light now? With our screens. And then using the glasses to help block some of that blue light, because it can be a major problem for us. And the only problem I have is that when I put on these glasses, which are, blocking the blue rays, I don't see as well on my screen. So I have a little bit of a problem there. So protections against reactive oxygen species, or ROS. Reactive, actually, oxygen species are byproducts of your body's cells processes. And this is a major problem. This can be related also to the Herx reaction. If you've ever heard of Herxheimer's reaction or Herx, I have that in my book. It might be your pancreas. And if you look in that area, in that section on that topic, it's about what the body has to process, rebuilding cells and breaking things down. Okay, and what happens? It's like causing a little bit of dust to be brought up and trying to break that all down. When ROS accumulate in your cells, they can lead to stress, okay, premature aging, and health concerns such as diabetes and cancer. Melanin scavenges for ROS, boosting antioxidants and eliminating free radicals. Okay, so a lot of this stuff you may or may not have heard of. And if you go back into some of the previous videos that I have created, you might hear more about antioxidants and the free radicals and things like that. I don't want to go into everything right now, but I just want to get through this melanin part because there's so much good information. Studies also suggest that melanin may aid in immune system support, okay, and the reduction in inflammation in your body. More research is necessary to determine the fullest extent. Now, if you're only taking care of one little aspect of your supporting the immune system, it may not show that you're really supporting it. So that's almost like I am going to take out these carbohydrates and drink alcohol in place of those carbohydrates. You're just not really eliminating the problem that the underlying problems. And some of these you need for all these processes in the digestive system and the breakdown of sugars and how oxygen is carried throughout the body and how the structures are maintained. And you want to talk about, like the integrity of all the structures and how they're being used. And when you think about the circulatory system and how if it gets like a rubber band, if it gets thin, your blood vessels and blood system, you can get issues and bleeding very easily if those areas are not structurally sound and do not have that strength it needs to be, and you need to support that with nutrition. Conditions and disorders. Okay, so you might see vitiligo, albinism, melasma, which brown or blue gray patches on their faces or arms. And it's, listen to this one, condition may be caused by hormones, exposures to the sun, or birth control pills. Prescription creams, laser skin resurfacing, and chemical peels can help lighten or darken these patches. Okay, now, but there's a cause, and they say that you can get this under control with some of these creams and things, but be very careful where you are with your blood sugars because your body is going to heal and try to go through a healing process. And so there's the Herxheimer's reaction, and then there's the healing. You can have an acute healing crisis where your body is in this state of healing and you are not stable. And that can actually turn out that can turn into a very dangerous scenario. And some people with COVID that got COVID may have fallen into that, and your body was already weak, and then you were introduced to the COVID virus or to any other new virus or other people, and changes them from an environment, maybe even a change in your relationships. Okay, so we talked about albinism, and I think a lot of people realize that where you have real pale skin, white hair, blue eyes, you don't have that pigmentation. Vitiligo, I've known a couple of people that have real big episodes of that, where you see white patches on their body and then things are going wrong with their pigmentation. Pigment loss following skin damage. If your skin becomes infected, burned, or blistered, your body may not be able to replace melanin in the damaged area. So that's very interesting to know. But I guess people that have been burned know that and have been, if you firefighters or other people that have been in like auto accidents or any kind of like fire-related issue or problems related to burns. Hearing loss, very interesting, because melanin is found in the stria vascularis of your inner ear. It's been linked to hearing loss. Can you freaking believe that? People have too little melanin have a higher risk of hearing problems. So I am sharing this because who would have thought that your hearing had anything to do with melanin? Parkinson's disease. Dr. Terry Walls did an excellent program just recently. It was free on her site. and she addressed Parkinson's disease, but also addressed MS. And these neurodegenerative diseases that we see are a problem for a lot of people, not only from injury, but also from other things and factors maybe related to drinking alcohol, not absorbing your nutrients. Maybe your intestinal lining was not healed from birth. Okay, and then you're going to really take on this new way of eating, and you're going to try to introduce foods that heal that whole inner lining of your entire alimentary canal. So typically, neuromelanin in your brain increases as we age. However, in people with Parkinson's disease, brain cells in their substantia nigra die. Okay, as this happens, neuromelanin decreases. Did you ever think that melanin could be or have such an impact in your body in relation to skin, to your brain, and to your adrenal glands? You know, you don't really think about that. I laid out in the sun forever, so I was already zapping my adrenal glands. Okay, I don't have much time here. I'm just going to let you know to go to myclevelandclinic.org, health body, look under melanin, and you can get all this information, and we can talk further if you'd like, if you're having any conditions, skin related, or with your adrenals, or with, there's other things related to the pineal gland, and that's melatonin. Okay, and a lot of people get those things, melatonin and melanin, as my daughter said, get those confused. And I did originally got some things mixed up with that whole concept of melanin and melatonin. Have a beautiful day, and get back to me, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell, and then we can talk more about this subject later. Bye.